So I'm trying to think of how this would work into any of these three categories.
So I think sound is more of an environment alterer. It's not like a substance generator doesn't make sense necessarily. It's not a physical thing that you can leave sitting around, right?
Yes.
If you
Okay,
did
okay.
it
So yeah,
as a
substance
body, you don't really like you could eventually learn to change your body into sound. I know we kind of did it some here before.
uh-huh.
But to like dial it in, you could learn to change your body with it too at a later time once you get the points for it. Um,
Right.
I think the way you've kind of utilized like silence and stuff like that and making sounds and doing sound attacks, environment
Is more of an
alter,
environment alter scenario.
yeah. The way you've used it most frequently has been environment alterer.
Gotcha.
Um, so I think that's the route to go
I
to
could
start with.
right. Okay. Um, and that is changing properties of the environment around me.
Yeah, like
Could that eventually be considered could I eventually consider myself part of the environment?
yeah, you could learn to do body enhancer, which would allow you to change your own
Okay.
physical
Okay.
features.
Then
Yeah,
we would
yeah,
probably go that route then.
yeah.
Object, space, time, or air, atmosphere. Right.
Yeah, it says depending on what it is. So like you could cause the ground to be ripply with shock waves that's similar to like the earthquake spell by
Right.
vibrating sound waves through the ground. You could cause concussive blasts. You could cause auditory illusions or even physical
Gotcha.
illusions by making the sound waves move in such a way that it's like a mirage. Um, you could shatter things. Like there's lots like I think environment alterer has the widest breadth of
Yeah.
possibility for how you as a bard could use it.
Yeah. And it's just, and that one, it comes up to a matter of creativity on use.
Yep. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Uh
If
huh.
you want to
Uh-huh.
read
No,
through
you're
some of
good.
the things below that.
So, environment filterer. Okay.
Hey, kitten.
Yep.
It did notify in the news and events, so it's working. It just took a minute for it to update
Okay.
because I think they're on a rolling every couple of minutes, so it's like a couple of seconds after it's live. So
Okie dokies. So
everything's
I only
working.
hear you once, which is good.
Yay!
And it's
Nice.
coming through Discord.
Hooray!
And the Vex audio channel that I have is not moving. So
Yes.
that's good. I still think it's going to pick up whatever stream is in the background. I think that's what it was doing last time was it was hooked to the whatever star guest star
Yeah.
thing from Twitch, the browser. So I'm kind of debating just muting that
I mean,
one.
I have myself muted in the backstage of the guest star. So that way I
Okay.
am the only audio source you're getting from me is specifically here in Discord. Obviously my icon's going to react as per normal because
Mm-hmm.
that's still picking up my mic, but OBS is not doing any audio and then the Twitch guest star is not. So,
Cool. I still muted it just in case I bring up a window or something and it has an ad playing on it.
oh, that's
And then
fair.
it picks up that.
That's fair.
But just in future, if we ever do a stream, just notated in case
Absolutely.
it's not through Discord.
13 minutes until showtime, everybody. 13 minutes
Uh-huh.
until
Uh-huh.
showtime.
Okay, so we're still waiting on conductor who may be late, and I did
Mhm.
message Dingo, have not gotten a response,
I
but
have
I'm not.
also messaged him.
We should
Uh,
all, like, the day of, just message Dingo for, you know. It'll become a bit, honestly.
So this is only expected to be on the ship this time?
I believe so. That was the plan for
Okay.
this week. We're gonna do some RP, some character building, and then like we're having to take care of the people on the boat. And yeah, it's a mostly RP session today.
Okay. Oh. The name of the person to the right of Lucian?
The name of the person right of Lucian on the
On the map.
Okay, see ya. Let's see, where is Lucian? I see us.
I'm back. Lucian and Giuseppe
Got
are downstairs in Lucian's room, which is the only room that's really big enough to hold Magellan.
House. Yeah.
Wait,
I just.
where?
How do you pronounce the name of the person to the right of them?
To the right of who?
Lucian.
To the right of Lucian?
Mm-hmm.
Where is Lucian? Can you...
Can you see him in this
Oh,
room?
Thirstwell.
Come
His
again?
name is
Okay.
his name is Thirstwell.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I was
This
gonna
guy.
say, like, me and Giuseppe are downstairs with Magellan at the moment.
Don't forget about Child, and Commoner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Velet, I'm
Yes.
seeing on this list of conditions, deafened is a condition. Is there something similar for mute?
For mute. What do you mean?
Being unable to speak. Or
Like just making
create
it so a
sound.
single person can't speak, but they can still hear?
Okay, so I'm looking at immunities specifically.
Where's that at? What page? So I can get
It's
on.
literally just under the Paramecia bit. So same page, 192.
192. Is this in damage, resistances, and immunities?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
What
I'm
you think?
just trying to think. So, but what I'm thinking and wondering is, so I would be immune to being deafened because I make sound. I am sound something. Anyways, but what I also am wondering is there a condition that would prevent me from making sound? Like
Is there a
being muted or
condition that would prevent you from making sound?
Like
in the
silence.
D&D framework, yes, is there a silence condition?
Yeah, yes. Silence is of itself a spell. No sound can be produced in that area, and it functions kind of like Law's ability that he has,
Right.
his
Yeah,
room,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
or whatever it's called. Um, it functions kind of like that. And devil fruits are meant to have things that counter them. So that particular ability could
Would.
potentially counter you if you. It would be a clash of wills type of situation.
Right.
Because, like, in the manga and anime, as far as I'm aware, Law
Right.
has
So I
never
would
had this
have to
opportunity.
pass a check to
Yeah,
overcome that. But I
yes.
could, in theory, overcome a magical sound barrier.
Yeah, because you have this fruit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So not an immunity, just maybe strength.
Yeah, a clash of wills, so to speak.
Okay.
Um,
But nothing physical. Like I can't be throat chopped and suddenly unable to speak because my
right,
power
because you can
isn't
just
from my
generate it.
voice.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can
it's
just
any
generate it.
sound can
It's
be
it's
at
a
my will.
very specific thing that could mute you. It's like a very
Yes.
specific
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Cool. Going down the list, I've got appearance, description, uh, create, produce, manipulate, and eventually become sound. Uh, wheat, water, and sea stone. There's got to be something else I can throw in there.
Where are you putting it?
Hold. I'm not. I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Um. So okay. So at level, so you were mentioning about spells. That is probably basic skills. Next page. Yeah.
Yeah, basic skills.
Have at least one ability or attack that can be used innately, so long as the Devil Fruit user is not incapacitated. So that would be the default cantrip.
It would be the equivalent of a cantrip that you can just use. And it doesn't have to be um like you could pick almost any cantrip that you could describe making sense and just change its damage type to thunder damage.
Sound. Yeah, so I could literally pick Fireball, and it's not fire
Right.
anymore.
Well, you
It's
couldn't pick
just
fireball because that's a spell, but you could pick firebolt. You could pick
yes.
anything that falls under the cantrip category. And then because you're a bard, also any damaging spells that you do cast, you could potentially change to thunder by using your fruit instead,
Right.
or by using your fruit to alter it. Because it says you could change somewhere further up. You could say like I'm gonna choose this, but deals acid instead. You could alter some of your
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, that is up. Paramecia attacks right above the resistance immunities.
Hmm.
Uh, certain spells to work especially well for Paramecia, but they may not list a damage type in the spell description that corresponds to the Devil Fruit's element or material. For example, if you wish to use Cone of Cold spell for an acid nature Devil Fruit, you may list deals acid damage instead.
T minus 3 minutes until session 10 begins for Wild Seas on Terra.
Okay. So it should come with a basic skill. Okay, so that's the cantrip I've already taken. Um, actions.
Hey, Five.
Yeah.
Have you heard conductor like rustling around at all, or
No.
was that his alarm? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Conductor? Yeah, no, he'll be fine. He'll be in here. Just give him a minute.
What advancement?
Hang on. I need to show me. Show me this. Thank you. There we go. 3, 4. Okay, that makes sense. It's 3. Is there a way to rearrange your spells listed?
Rearrange them how?
Uh, move. uh, I don't know if you're able to see my list, but my cantrips show light, then message, then thunderclap, then vicious mockery.
hmm
But is there a way to move thunderclap under vicious mockery?
Why do you want to move it under?
Just for sake of understanding which ones were added, because it doesn't appear to be when they were added, because I thought I added thunderclap after vicious mockery.
They're ordered alphabetically, which is why it's in that
Okay,
order.
so there's no way to change the ordering.
Well, I mean, there is, but like,
Oh.
why do you need it changed other than just you added
For
it
sake of
last?
my sanity of knowing, for sake of them being added in when they were acquired, as opposed to alphabetical. Ah, there's an edit list. Is that? No, that's delete and add.
Are you
Okay.
wanting to separate it because it's a devil fruit cantrip and not
That
a
also might
class
be
cantrip?
useful, but no.
I mean, if you just wanted to put like what level you acquired it on, you can just do like something like that, and then
Ah, gotcha. Okay,
that'll show
and
you what level you got it on, and then it'll
true.
well, I
Okay,
was
so
gonna
I
say
can
it,
absolutely rename these without affecting anything, right? Because the
yeah,
the code isn't necessarily this; it's what's in the question in the magnifying glass.
yeah, the code isn't here.
Okay,
So
it
you can have
okay,
these
cool.
names be
I can
whatever.
rename them and use that too. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you can rename them, and if you wanted to rename them like an anime character has their
Thematically
own named,
stuff, yes.
yeah,
Okay.
you can absolutely do that as well. It's not going to change anything.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Um.
Sorry, I had to figure out really what you were asking and why to figure out
Yeah,
how to
because
give you an answer that did what you
they
wanted.
weren't. Yeah, because they weren't in the order that I had to put them in there, or when I received them,
Mhm.
or added them, and
Yeah.
that kind of throws me. Because like, wait, did I really choose Thunderclap before I chose Vicious Mockery? That made make no sense because I didn't choose my fruit until after I chose my class. Well, after I chose my
Mhm.
class.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So that's fine. So you can leave it
Mhm.
at that, or you can do
Yep.
whatever you need to with it.
Yep. Cool. Thank you. Um, and yeah, so Thunderclap is the cantrip I chose for my um devil fruit.
Okay.
Uh, And that's what I was wondering, and
Okay.
that fits in with my leveling.
Because you got it at level 5 too.
So
Yes.
we're 2 minutes past the hour.
Uh-huh.
Did you want me to do a ping for our remaining two members, or
Um, I'll do it. I'll do it,
Yep.
and then we'll start because we've got we've got 4 people.
Yep. I got it. And then quick question, because I'm still level 1 basically for my devil fruit, right?
So the way it works is you're just a devil fruit user now.
Yeah.
When certain thematic moments are achieved, you gain basically a point, like an intangible point currency that you can use to either learn hockey or advance your devil fruit powers, or
Right.
you
Okay.
can you can spend them on regular feats as well. Because the way they
Right.
advance all of those things, it's just feat purchasing, and it's feats that give you additional functionality.
Okay. And that is under the spells, skills, and awakening scenarios in this
Um,
last paragraph, I assume, on 193.
where you find devil fruit awakening feats starts on page 202,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
under the
But
section devil.
also spells and skills too.
Well, there's spells and skills there, but it
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't really tell
But
you how much anything costs. It tells you how many charges it takes to use them. It doesn't tell you how to get more of them.
okay, so what I'm wondering is from level 1, because I presume that's where I am with my devil fruit, basically ground floor.
You've got a cantrip, and you've got probably one spell of each level.
One spell of each level
Level
up
1,
to
level
my
2, level
level.
3. Yeah.
Oh, up
Spell
to
level 1, spell level 2, spell level 3.
okay,
You've
okay,
got probably one spell of each level that you can use your devil fruit points to charges to expend. You are currently level 5, which means you have 5 charges that you can spend and can replicate a maximum highest level of a 3rd level spell as a devil fruit ability.
okay. That makes
You
sense. And
and
I can
you
use those charges however I want, mixing and matching, so long
yeah,
as it doesn't
as long as you
exceed.
don't spend over 5. So
Yeah,
once you're out of 5, you've got to do a short rest to
yeah.
get
So I
your
could do a 3 and a 2, or a 3 and 2 ones. Got it.
or 5 ones. Yeah, anything like that. Any way you want to spend it, and you've got one spell from each of the things. So
Okay.
and then those points, you have 2 uncommon points that you can spend to advance your devil fruit or buy regular person feats from the player's handbook.
Right.
If it's a non-combat feat, it costs 1 uncommon point. If it's a combat feat, it costs 2 uncommon points.
Okay.
I will try to get all these things typed up and just put in the chat, maybe later tonight. If
Yep.
not, then
No worries.
tomorrow. All right, so starting up, who would like to do a recap of what happened last
I-
session?
as it happens, I wrote one down.
Fantastic. Go right ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Grab that real quick. Kitten was really helpful too, and she actually got me additional information. So, mind you, this is a recap from the perspective of Grace O'Malley. But, so we killed a bunch of Marines. We captured Captain Magellan, who also was responsible for poisoning the island and all the people therein that lived on said island: creatures, plants, people, the fish, all of it. So then also, it looks like. Flynn, our resident monk slash fighter, he had a conversation with the mysterious Admiral Garp via a snail. And then Garp is responsible for sending the missiles to the island to destroy it. So that was kind of a wild ride. The familiars Biscuit and Nibbles also murdered a number of Marines. Biscuit, of course, the large sized stoat. shaking them like rag dolls. He even did a little war dance, and we have a image of what that looks like now. Isabella was able to use uh, her whip and did some slashing against some Marines that tried to attack Biscuit. And how dare he hurt her poor babies? Let's see. I coined the term coup de grace instead of coup de grace because now I have a rifle and I can murder at any distance. Um, I now personally know what sea prism stone is and what it looks like and how it works. Thanks to I believe it's Durnan. Is that last? Not Burnin, but Durnan.
This
Big
guy
family that
is
one.
Burnin.
Burnin. Okay, Durnan's brother Burnin, the tavern keeper from the previous island. Um, Magellan gave the old Batman twist during that fight, where he was trying to give us the option of either capturing him and letting the townspeople die in the poison town hall, or rescue the people and let him get away. And then we're like, ah, fuck it. We got everybody here. Let's just save everybody and kick his ass. And we did. Um, he has these large serpentine poisonous anacondas that came out of his back and like sprayed poison down through the broken ceiling of the town hall and just filled it up. And so we are pulling people out through the windows, pulling people out through the door, just rounding them all up and getting them out of the poison. And then we were able, between Simon our bard, Flynn our monk, and myself, we were able to take down Magellan at a distance. um, so both Simon and Ray, who will be joining us shortly, used his extraordinary abilities to hold the Marines back and help us rescue the people from the poisoned air inside the town hall. Giuseppe, our artificer, who will be here soon, used Cappuccino, his special robot, to help heal people, and he was shooting these little chocolate-covered coffee bean / healing spells at everybody, and you just had to eat them and you'd feel better. And so now we're all fleeing for our lives on a ship covered with all of the townspeople that we rescued. We've got a dragon in the back riding a tiny boat. And we're doing everything we can to keep everybody fed and healthy and access to water, but it is tight quarters on this ship, and we're headed to a new island so that they can rebuild. I do not recall offhand what the name of that small town is that we are going to, but
It would
we
be
have,
Syrup
yeah,
Town?
Syrup
what town?
Village.
Syrup
Syrup
Village.
Village.
Okay, but it's packed, it's smelly, it's loud. There's limited food, and there's
Mhm.
probably some short tempers. But if I missed anything, let me know.
I think
Okay,
that
that's
was
it.
pretty good. Go ahead and grab an inspiration for that,
Okay.
and from there, that sets the scene. It is the dawn of the morning, right after the loss of the island, and your ship has been going for the most part, the majority of the night, um, with minimal issue. It is cramped. There are a lot of people up on the top deck. I have just populated the top deck, and that's all. If you want to be on the top deck itself, you can be. Some of you are below decks. Flynn is below deck, which I can move him up top. You just tell me where you want to be. I just kind of put you in places that seemed normal and appropriate. But I'm only populating the top deck. There are an equal number of people pretty much on every other deck. Um, it's the morning. Burnin is downstairs cooking. Uh, and judging by the smell and how far it's carried, you figure he's probably been cooking for about an hour. Um,
So we're
cur-
well on our way to a meal.
mhm. Um, Grace, you are by the wheel, locking in course for the morning while Ray is plotting that course on the maps, making your way to Syrup Village. I don't think any of you know anything about Syrup Village or what kind of village it is or how big it is. I don't think any of you have been there. Um, So you don't know about the destination that you have in front of you. What would you like to do?
Well, I definitely want to maintain our current course and trajectory so that way we can get to the island in the fastest time as we can. Um, Offhand, do we know how much food resources we're sitting at, or do I need to dive in with Biscuit to get some
So
more fish?
you can make an investigation check for me. This is going to
Okay.
go over your logs, checking with what you have recorded that is on the ship, um, and how long that would normally have lasted for the six of you. Eight, technically, I guess, if you counting Biscuit and Nibbles, that would have been calculated in there. Um, so you can kind of judge that based off the number that you have, and could go from there. So make an
Extrapolate.
investigation. Yeah.
Okay. I
Okay. 13. Um, so with what was on the ship previously, you had um, you had 3 weeks of fresh water. You had 2 weeks of food that was just on the ship. I think you guys kind of had gotten that probably with the intention of you would be able to fish at some point along your journey to supplement that. So, of just what's on the ship right now that's in barrels or preserved, you have 2 weeks of food. Now, these are numbers based off of 8 mouths to feed.
Right. So probably not much if we've got a whole village.
Mhm.
we probably could have, with the extra, like the amount of people that we currently have on this boat, we could have easily gone a couple of days, but we should have
Oh yeah.
immediately started supplementing with additional food.
Additional
Um,
food, and someone might have been on some form of distillery.
yeah, some
Will
So, you brought in another 63 people.
Jesus. We went from 6 to 69. Hey.
Nice.
a will Goodberry work for the dragon?
Um, I think we figured out last time that it will work for the extent of sustaining him,
But it
but that
won't satisfy him.
but it won't satisfy, which will, because he's such a bigger thing, it will leave him
We don't want
feeling the
a
hunger
hungry dragon.
pangs
We have
more and more.
63 innocent people on this boat. We don't want a hungry dragon.
Now, you also do know that
Right.
he does not eat as frequently as them. So,
And he just got
and he
fed.
just got fed. So you would have to have a conversation with him about when he needs to eat again.
Hmm.
But if it came down to it, that would preserve him from dying of starvation.
He's intelligent too, so he probably would
Hmm.
understand as well if we explained the
Isabella, can
scenario.
you check with him to see how he feels and if he's hungry right now or if he can wait a couple of days?
Yeah, and I was thinking I could also do Goodberry to then give him one just to kind of hold him over on days he doesn't need to eat as well,
Hmm.
and then maybe two others on the ship because I can make I think it's up to 8.
Yeah, I think it's eight,
Look,
8 or 10. It's something like that. It's not a small number.
10.
10,
Yeah,
yeah.
10. Who gets the shortest straw and gets Goodberry with their meal? I'm gonna go talk to him.
Okay. So you, um, so yeah, the deck that you're on is right above this. So you could absolutely
Mhm.
just
Hop
come
down
down
or
the
look at him.
stairs, go through and hop onto the boat that he's on because he's on it. Like he is fully on this thing. I know the token doesn't look like he's taking up the whole boat, but like token sizes don't take into account like length as far as like long creatures like dragons horses, etc. I'm going to unlock movement. Hold on,
Thank
because
you.
you don't need this on. It's only important during combat.
Yeah.
So you come up to the small boat that you have on the back, and he kind of like lifts his head up.
You know, right in between the eyes where cats get that little dopey face if you rub it?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kind of pet him there. Be
Oh.
like, hello, my winged friend. How are you doing?
No.
There is no ground.
I know. We're trying to get there soon. Um, I wasn't sure when you needed more food, so I brought you this good berry just to kind of hold you over for a bit and check and see when you're gonna need some food so we can fish accordingly.
He kind of like
And I
sniffs
hand
at the
him a
berry.
good
Yeah, he
berry.
sniffs at the berry and then kind of like um lolls his tongue out to like scoop it up. And then you can see
Slimy
him
tongue.
swallow it. And then I would like to eat once a week,
Oh,
but
that's
I
doable.
require it at least once a month.
Okay, well, it definitely should not take that long to get to the next island, so we're pretty good on that. Thank you for letting me know. I'll let them know so they can take care of you on the island as well.
Mm. Like kind of like nods and like nudges at you, like nuzzles,
I'm
and
gonna
then lays
keep
down.
rubbing me like you're
He's
such a
not
good
dragging.
boy. Yes, you are. So pretty.
Patronize me.
He
Not.
kind
I
of does like
truly mean it. It is
the
beautiful
this
dragon.
little like side head wobble thing, and then gets kind of like does a wormy dragon spin and curls up. He's kind of like
Oh,
he looks more like a very long, eyeless, winged snake that's made out of stone.
Right.
were the eyes? Oh well, eyeless. Darn. I was gonna say the eyes are super big, like the cute snakes.
Oh, that would be funny. I think in the picture he's got legs, but we're just gonna ignore that. Um, so yeah, so you've got that information. Would put you, I don't know, I guess that would help. Once a month minimum. Where is Simon? I've got Simon on the deck right now, playing music. Is that
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's reasonable for now.
okay?
I don't think I'm needed
Provide
for much else
entertainment.
other than, the occasional helping to keep the ship functioning,
Hmm.
but otherwise keeping the moods well enough. If
People
you want me to
are
perform,
yeah, you can absolutely make a performance check if you're especially if you're trying to maintain the mood of the people that are on here. For reference, um the three elders are
19,
why can I not do
24.
this? The three
Nice.
elders are these three women up here. 24, very nice. The mood's very happy on the ship right now. It's one day into the journey. They're obviously upset. Their home is gone, but they're happy that they're safe, and the shipride is pretty well. Um, for that, Grace, also, could you make a water vehicles check for me to
Absolutely.
represent making sure everything stays on course for the night or the
I
previous
get to
night?
roll with advantage from
I would
conductor's
say so.
navigation.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say so. He's not here to roll right now, but I think with the simple that it is, he would it would probably be a low DC for him to succeed. So go right ahead. 23. Fantastic. As far as you can tell, and as to the best of your knowledge with conductor checking with the stars and the maps and everything, you're right on course for Syrup Village. It's going to take about 4 days to get there, with today being the start of the first.
Okay. I'll go ahead and meander over to the 3 village elder women and let them know kind of what our course is and what our ETA is. Um, so I'll go ahead. Do
Oh,
I need
excuse me,
to?
ma'am. I'm just a
Yes,
commoner. And he steps down. Get out of your way.
the commoner. Child, commoner are all my favorite villagers from the island.
So you had, by the way, to go back over it, you had, what did we say, three 3 weeks of water and 2 weeks of food, right?
Correct. But we now have
For
63 more mouths to feed.
yes. So, and your investigation roll was high enough. You could sit there and do that. Um, so that would be, hold on.
Giuseppe! How's
Hey.
my favorite artificer? Good morning.
So
Buongiorno.
so you have enough food, not of just what's on the ship in barrels and storage stuff like that. You have enough food for today and half of tomorrow to feed everybody. That's assuming everyone's getting 3 squares.
Hmm.
For water,
We have
um,
magic for water, can't we? Don't we have like purifier and we're surrounded by water?
I don't know if anybody has purify water. I don't think purify water, by the way the spell functions, takes away salt content.
But I have create or destroy
So you
water.
have that. So that'll provide some, but how often can you cast that and how much does it make?
It's a level 1 spell,
A
up to
lot.
10
So
gallons.
10 gallons.
Mm.
So yeah, so hold on, so 8 times of what's
10
barreled,
gallons.
you have 2.5 days of water of what's barreled. We're so that's the barreled content. That's pretty much everything that does not involve human intervention. That's just the stuff that's purely on the ship.
Ready to
Yeah.
go, ready to consume,
Mhm.
safe to eat and drink. That makes sense.
We are a pirate ship. Do we have a still?
Do you have a still?
Probably.
Do we have a still on our
Distillery.
ship? We're a pirate ship, right? I mean, most pirates would have the knowledge to make alcohol. That would
I mean, I
require a
feel like
still. I think
on
we can
theme,
distill an
If
amount
I,
of water
if we
fairly
can make
regularly.
cold brew, we can distill water.
if
There
I
are
may,
ways you can do it. Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
if I may, as somebody whose grandfathers both had some kind of still, uh, those things can explode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um,
But we've also got an.
Alright,
so
to
I'm
be
on it,
fair,
is what
to
I'm
be fair,
saying.
Five.
I will make one.
Yeah. To be fair, Five, pirates did know how to make alcohol, but usually their method of making alcohol,
Was very crude.
it was throw some sugar and these fruits into a bottle, stop it up, and hope that you find it sometime down the line somewhere in a cranny on your ship. It
Mm.
wasn't
Most of it.
exactly the most scientific method of making alcohol.
it yeah,
Brewed
that was
brandy at best.
that was the quick method on ships. But I mean, they could also make rum, and rum required
Closet
distilling.
wine.
Okay, pirates could make rum when they were at port. I don't
Mhm.
remember hearing a whole lot of stories of them doing it on ship.
Mm.
Like the on
I don't
ship,
even.
we need alcohol and we don't happen to have enough. The way I described was how I think pirates would most often do that.
Right.
Mm.
Um, You also don't have access to sugarcane at the moment.
Yeah. But we don't need it. We just need water because I'm just saying we distill the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking about.
yeah.
I mean,
Remove
that's just
the
boiling.
impurities.
That's just
Yeah.
that's just
It's
boiling. You wouldn't
literally
need.
boiling it. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, boiling the
A
and
still is way
keeping
too
the
much for that.
yeah. No, because
Isn't it
if
We're
you
not
boil it,
boiling
that keeps the
things that
salt. We
create
need to keep the
ether.
water that evaporates off.
The
Yeah.
That
You're
flammable
requires
just
parts
the
will not be in the cell water.
Yeah,
We're
you're
gonna
just
be
talking
okay.
about making water. I get what you're saying. Like those things do
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
I don't think that you also necessarily have all of those things on the ship. Giuseppe could make the appropriate metal containers to hold things for you guys to boil water with. Kitten, with Isabella, also has create or destroy water if things aren't happening. How many times can you cast that? Kitten, you have
Uh,
you have
it's
4
a
first level spell slots and 3 second and 2 thirds, so
3 second.
you could cast it. What is that? Sorry, 9 times. And casting it at higher levels creates more water. So I mean, like water could be created. Again, me just giving the numbers. This is just what's actively sitting in barrels.
Mhm.
Right.
So I
So
think
that
at this point, probably our biggest holdup right now over this 4-day period to this island is going to be food. So if there's anybody on the ship that is a fisherman, or we have some netting, maybe some harpoons to bring in something larger. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's going to be me and Biscuit in the water going fishing with a big net.
I mean, he did also mention that this would be about 3 squares. So,
Mhm.
I mean, some folks might not get 3 squares. I mean, I feel like it's something that is a
Limited rations.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a sacrifice that would be made, that would be, willing to be made, that some folks might be
Yeah,
willing to
that
make.
yeah, it would likely be the older people making that sacrifice. I would absolutely make that sacrifice.
I can sustain off of good berries a day or two.
Just don't let the captain too close to any of the hungry people.
It's just gonna be for a few days. I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
that will be
We'll
People
breeze
are not
through
going to
this.
starve to
We've
death in
got
4
someone
days.
making wind for us. I don't think we'll have any lulls in our movement.
okay.
We just need to
Also,
get to where we need to go.
to be fair, the creation of the wind that can be done by druids of this level is not sustainable for travel.
No,
It
but
is
it
usable
definitely can be
for
used to fill in points where there is little wind.
no, it cannot. It's not
No?
enough to move a ship for travel.
Ah,
You can
okay.
use it in battle to like juke or spin. You can't use it
Enough
for
for a long
momentum.
distance. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The difference between travel movement and tactical movement is
Yeah. Okay.
huge. And a spell that takes 6 seconds to be done.
Yeah, there's
Mm.
no like if we're to produce the amount of force in 6 seconds to provide you with sustainable travel speed, it would also blast your ship to ribbons.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you think this
so
is? One Piece? Some kind of cartoon?
yeah. No, I'm not saying things can't happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
No.
the wind devil fruit user can get to the point where he could propel your ship like the Thousand Sunny with the root beer rocket, but not at that point right now.
Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
we're like with the Going Merry. We gotta
Yeah, your ship might be bigger, but you're at the Going Merry end of um I just forgot his name. Arlong Park level of power.
right.
Going Mary.
Alright.
So Grace, you have approached the 3 elders, and they're kind of
Yes.
standing there talking and discussing things, and they see you walk up and say, "Ah, Grace, wonderful to see you this morning. The smells from the kitchen, burning cooking, is wafting up through the ship. Burning may be his name, but burning the food is not what he's known for."
Good pun. Um, well,
I'm gonna like it.
respectable elders. I just wanted to let you know what our ETA was. We're looking at about 4 days of sea travel to get to the island. We're going to go to Syrup Village, I believe. And because of that 4 day constraint, we're going to need all hands on deck. Anybody that can wield a net, a fishing rod, a harpoon to supplement our food. We only have about 2 days worth of food on the ship. We do have additional water and means to get more water, but food is definitely going to hold us up. And I know everyone left almost every important, valuable thing that they had behind. And you're starting over in this new town with what we can scrounge up. But right now, I'm just worried that everybody is going to get their 3 meals a day.
Oh, they kind of look at each other, and um, Danica, she looks to you and says, "Well, I think that we have quite a number of fishermen. This is not the way we usually do it. Do you know if you have any nets, or we we brought some things that we could grab as we were running by. I'm sure we have some fishing lines and some fishing rods. I don't know if we brought nets. Um, um, Morgantha, do you know if who's got the list of what we have? I think someone was checking on that, weren't they?" And she looks around the ship and points over to an old man up on the front on the fore section of the ship. Over there, Henrik, the gentleman with the beard. You can speak with him. He should have been getting a tally of all the items that we were able to bring. I don't know if he's finished yet. He was going to bring it to us when he was done, but you can check with him. It's coming to you anyway.
Fair enough. Oh, I think I see him over there on the other end of the deck. Let me go speak with him and just kind of get an idea of what you guys have accessible, and then we'll try and put together a fishing crew.
Wonderful.
Let's see. Da, 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 da. Pardon me. Excuse me, commoner. Hello. Would you be the Henrik that I am looking for?
Hmm. I doubt I would. You must be Miss Grace.
That I am.
Yeah.
I am here to talk to you about our food situation and what all of you may have access to as far as supplementing that food. We have some nets, we have some harpoons, but we're really only outfitted for a couple of weeks for 6 people. And as you can see, this is an entire village worth of individuals, and we're going to need as much help as we can to make sure that everybody stays fed. We do, however, have access to water, so that's not going to be a concern. We've got several weeks on deck already, but we have the means to requisition more. Do you happen to have that list of items for
Oh,
continuing with that food, or
yes, yes. He kind of like reaches around himself and reaches into like two or three pockets, pulls out a pin, what looks like a small bent slinky. He's got some lint, some string, a lot of yarn comes out of one pocket, and then eventually he pulls out a a rolled up piece of paper. He's like, "Oh, here you go."
I feel like he's gonna hand me the paper and then like MacGyver his way to put everything back into his pockets because he's going to need it
Hmm.
later.
No, yeah, yeah. Nothing gets just thrown down. He's picking stuff up. Uh, do a your passive perception, which I think is a 16. You see that like he's putting all the stuff packets in his pocket, and then just some random piece of trash you would assume he also picks up and just puts in his pocket.
Just some dirty rag that was on the side of the ship somewhere. Just like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's going in my pocket too.
I could clean this later. I could do something with that.
Hmm. Fair enough. Okay, so what is written on this list? Can I read his, you know, elderly scrawl, or is it illegible?
Yeah, yeah, you can. So and I'll type out a list and I'll send it to you. It'll be in the notes, the very far right of um the program, the notes tab. I'll share the note with you, but it'll be there for when you need to read it. But there are three um, trawler fishing nets, um, and then it's got a star beside it. You don't know what that means. It says 6 barrels pickled fish. Then it's got 10 fishing poles, 9 spools of fishing line, 2 tackle boxes with a question mark beside it. And then it has another line where it says 3 barrels assorted jerkied meats.
Okay.
And that's all it has.
I'm going to be reading over the list, and I see the star. And I'm going to tip the list at Henrik and go, what does this symbol here mean?
A star, that's about which line that on?
Up here on this one,
He's kind of squinting.
next
Oh,
to the nets.
that's on the nets. So we got 3 of them nets, and they'll do the job, but they're missing some sections. So somebody's gonna need to tailor stitch some of that, or a bunch of the fish that are too small are gonna make it through. And then,
Oh, they just need repair. I see. Okay, we can make that happen. Don't worry. Thank you, Henrik. Is there anything else I need to know or I should add to this list, or is this everything?
well, you know, it's a delicacy from our town, and we enjoy it. I like it. I've grown up on it. But I'm gonna warn you right now, those pickled fish are stout, not for the weak. If you understand my meaning, they're great, nice.
We will make sure
Mm.
not to dip into your stores for our
Oh
people
no, no,
and
no!
the
Listen,
likes
y'all
of you
can
folk.
eat however you like, but listen, I'm just warning you. When you're about to break into it, be ready to eat it, because once you pop that seal,
Oh,
there ain't
great.
there ain't no stopping it. Just go ahead and get it all eaten. Might as well throw the barrel overboard when you're done.
Okay. Note I'm gonna, pull out a little, you know, a piece of lead pencil that I probably have in my pocket or my jacket and write down next to the pickled barrels, uh, what is not consumed, give to dragon. Check. Okay. Thank you very much. That's very important information. I'll go ahead and let the elders know what the situation looks like, and I will convene with my crew and let them know kind of what our resources look like. So I really appreciate your help, Henrik. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Anytime you want to come talk to me, I'll be right over here.
Sounds
You know,
great.
my first, third, and fifth wife were redheaded.
How fortunate for you.
There's room
All
for
right.
6. You go walking
I
off.
appreciate the offer, but thanks. Okay. I'm
Here
gonna
is
weave
the
through the
note. By the
bodies.
way, it should have popped up in front of
Yep,
you.
I see it right there.
I'd walk away from that.
Go away from it. Oh man. Okay. So I run into, since like most of you are kind of right here, I let Isabella, Simon, Flynn know. I've got the supplies list manifest from Henrik. I'm just gonna go reconvene with the elders and let them know I have everything I need to know, and we'll start planning together. So if you guys want to meet me below decks, grab Ray and grab Giuseppe. Well, actually, it looks like Giuseppe's right here. So we'll go
Yeah,
ahead. Sorry, I didn't see you there,
I've been
Giuseppe.
here
You're
the
so
whole
short.
time. You don't look.
It's true. It's true. When danger's afoot, I just grab you and I take you with me. So, all right, I will be right back.
Mm.
Could one of you let Ray know to join us, and then I'll go over here. I'm gonna go convene with the elders.
What?
I don't know.
Gets nervous, dice rolled.
Nervous dice rolling is always terrifying.
Mm.
Um, okay, so, elders, Danica, Morgantha, and Thalamura. I just wanted
Yeah.
to let you know I got that list from Henrik. It looks like you guys have a few different materials. You're not completely empty-handed, so that's great. Um, he did mention you have some very potent pickled fish, and that if we crack one of those barrels, we got to make sure that we eat it all in one go, or we're gonna have to pitch it when we're done. And then just wanted to know
We
if
could,
any of we have a couple of people with various skills. We'll see if we can mend the nets. It looks like you do have 3 trawling nets. Do any of you folks have anyone that can repair the holes that are in them, or should we go ahead and see if one of our guys can do it?
Oh, we've got some people that could help do some of that, but well, I mean, as many hands as we have, it's probably best to try and get the nets repaired as quick as possible. If there's lots of us here, and you're helping us as much as possible, I would love for us to be able to repay some of that. So, um, this is Morgantha talking. Tomorrow, would you mind going and rounding up all of the seamstresses, getting them together, and see if they can start repairing those nets for us? And um, Danica, if you could go and get all of our fishermen together, tell them what they're going to be doing. I know that this is a little different situation. This boat is much bigger, but lines should still reach the water. We can figure something out, Grace. We'll get things going.
That sounds absolutely lovely, ladies. I really appreciate your help. I'm gonna go ahead and let my crew know what the situation looks like. Um,
wait, aren't we right there? Can you
Uh,
still not see me?
No, you guys. I walked to the other side of the other, like the
you're
port
you're
side,
on the
and you guys.
yeah, you're on the
Sorry,
other side of the ship.
Does
I don't
that
have my
look like
PC going yet.
fog to you on the horizon? That's a bit odd.
Well,
I look, towards the front of the ship as we're traveling over the ocean, and there's a bank of fog just there in the distance, like a silvery haze. Hmm, that's interesting. Maybe there's a storm coming. Um, well,
oh
get
Lord.
everybody below decks, and we'll get those seamstresses working on those nets. Any brave fishermen that want to potentially chance it in the storm are welcome to stay on deck, but let's go ahead and get everybody secured downstairs if we can. So I'm going to head back to the group, over to Isabella and the rest of the crew, and just kind of like, hey, you guys see that gray haze over there on the horizon?
Giuseppe puts his goggles on. I not see nothing.
So I'll let each of you, as she comes over and mentions that. Also, why is long resting not healing everybody? Okay, I think everybody's healed.
You'll let each of us go and do what now?
Give me just a second. Hold on. So she's pointing this out, pointing to the front of the ship. The four of you can make perception rolls to see if you
Okay.
can see what she is seeing.
Could you do it on my behalf, fellas?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm still just waking up.
Perception.
Yeah, I see nothing.
16, 20, 24. So if you got 20 or higher, you think you see maybe some kind of like cloudy weather up a front, but you don't really see what Grace is describing necessarily.
Okay.
mean, I see some clouds or something, but can't really make it out.
Can I go over to the three wise women and just let them know about the dragon's food needs for when we do get to an island?
Yeah, sure. Go right over to them. They're just over there, kind of discussing things. They're calling some people back and forth, but they're just talking. You walk over. Oh, dearie. Oh, it's nice to see you this morning. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Would you like a good berry?
Oh, sure. It takes it to.
Do all three of them? I'm trying to keep track.
Yeah. Oh, these are very good. Thank you. What do you need, dear? What can we help you with?
I just wanted to let you know a little bit about our dragon friend, because you guys were gonna give him some offerings and help sustain him on your island, and now that that is not gonna happen, I'm assuming you'll still try and help take care of him
Sure.
wherever you end up. But he needs to eat at least once a month, but he'd prefer to eat at least once a week. So if you could just kind of get a good schedule going, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And he also needs some good scale washing and rubs at times, and he like scratches in between his eyes on his forehead.
Oh, we'll make good notations of that. Once a month at least, but preferred once a week. All right. And all the scratches will. It's a little different, but well, who could deny such a beast of getting a nice head pat? I suppose.
He's just a little baby.
I would not necessarily say he's little, but he's young. You say, but not old. How big do they get? How much will we need to feed him? Oh, we'll figure it out.
Thank you.
It's your
Have a good
grandchild's
day.
problem.
Yeah, it'll be my grandchild's problem. So people start moving around, getting kind of coordinated. On the deck of the ship, um, there is this kind of like raveny guy that like crawls up onto one of the barrels, and as the like the elders are coming over here and ordering people around, he's kind of repeating their order, whatever they're saying, but louder in their voice. And people are just kind of going to different places. What are you all doing as the three elders are kind of ordering around the various citizens to begin sowing and preparing to fish?
I had an idea. Do you think Giuseppe could rig up an old style sewing machine?
Mm, I mean, that's possible, like the little foot pedal things.
Yeah, the old school ones.
Yeah, that's probable. Like you could probably figure out how to do something like that. It would be functional for a time, not worthy of sale. Does that make sense? But if you wanted to make it like properly and you like invested materials and stuff in it, then you could sell things like that as well. If you just want to use it to like assist with things, sure, you just make your tinker check and describe it that you're making a temporary old style sewing machine to help with it.
Yeah, just some sort of jury rig thing to help the tailors out.
Hmm. Yeah, you could do that.
Mm. And also possibly a rope to hang off the side to tie that barrel to in case we don't want to throw it overboard. But it's stinky.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he have mend? Can't he repair the ropes with mend?
You
We probably could.
well, you have to have the materials that originally came from it to repair it with those things. So Like there are full chunks of the rope netting that are missing.
The men doesn't create material in that moment.
No.
Oh,
Now, if you're using mend on your little guy, it functions like a
like a
healing
heal.
spell on
Yes.
people. But like that's for your little dude.
Yeah, that's different.
It doesn't. I'll look into mend. But yeah, you can like start working on that stuff. Um, what are the rest of you doing?
Um. Hmm.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
feel like
monitor that horizon personally. I definitely like that everyone's kind of getting to the center of the ship. Um, as far as they're working on everything. I just realized I interrupted you. So my apologies, Len. Have at her.
Oh, no, you're good. You can go ahead.
So I'm monitoring that gray like mass that apparently only I can see with eagle eye over here, at that distance. Um, and just kind of keeping an eye on everybody. I did let the crew know that I did see something, even if they can't see it. I did let them know about what supplies we currently have access to, and let Isabella in particular know that once we crack those barrels of pickled fish, whatever's left over from feeding everybody here, we're going to give to Sudamiko, the
Okay.
Earth Dragon.
But if he does not want them, I'm gonna prestidigitation them to taste better.
Sounds fantastic.
Can you kind of point out maybe whatever's in the horizon to Ray? Shouldn't he have something since he circled the stars to kind of visualize a little better?
But until conductor actually gets here, I don't want to use a player character that's not present to do something that they can't like interact with. If that makes sense.
Are there seagulls or
Um,
birds flying around?
um, probably not right now. You don't see.
Calls.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna check the lock on my door just to make sure it's still locked, because there's a lot of people on the ship, and some are strangers.
It's true.
You can't trust everybody.
You check,
Watch
and
me.
the door is still locked.
Hmm.
I guess I'm gonna go hang out with the dragon and see if there's any loose scales that I could help relieve him of.
Mm.
Useful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we end up doing that dragon raft thing, or was that just an
Yes,
idea?
you did it. You got it.
I did it. Okay.
Yeah, more or less. He's stable and able to not just be hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Our away boat is currently his chill zone.
Yeah.
Mm.
Theoretically, we could use some tail swipes from him as like a propulsion system too.
Maybe.
Hmm.
We'll
In
see.
theory, I haven't
He
thought that
doesn't
through.
particularly like the water, so I don't know that he's going to want to get any part of himself wet. Like, as
I
an
kind of
earth
assumed there
dragon.
was some parts of him hanging over the edge anyway. Like, I didn't think we had enough material to completely.
Encapsulate him
Yeah.
or protect him
He's
from the
Yeah.
very
water. That
snake-like,
makes
so I
sense.
imagine he curled up.
Yeah, he's mostly snake. Like
Okay.
he's like curled up inside the ship there in the boat.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, you see, there's this kind of uh, an individual similar to Ray, a kind of one of the mink people approaching you. He looks a little strange, but as he approaches, he's like, "Excuse me, um, it's been very chaotic, and I thank you all for letting us on the ship. But who's your captain? Is it, who should I speak to?
Well, this
Nipples
is
come
gonna get
running
weird.
with his hat.
Oh, coming down.
Yep, trotting like he's proud
Hmm.
and wearing one of the hats he's acquired.
So Nibbles, where would Nibbles be coming down? Like over here?
Sure.
Like just coming down.
I feel like we need to make a little name tag for him. Captain, do not eat.
But he's not gonna sound cute and innocent. He's gonna do the cat scream yell thing.
Oh,
Meow.
Yeah.
Implemented.
100%.
The lion, Shiro.
Called me.
he comes up and is just kind of like marching through with a little hat on. Do you tell him that's the captain, or are you?
I'm not near you guys. You guys gotta tell him.
Oh, Captain Nibbles! Captain Nibbles, there you are. Are you hungry? I twiddle
He's
my
gonna
little
purr.
fingers over at Nibbles.
Gonna rub his head on you.
Who's a good
and on your
captain?
leg.
Who, like, everyone's obviously staring at, like, who's she referring to as captain? What's happening?
Oh, you
He's gonna purr. You can feel the vibrations in your hand.
you named your
Like
ship captain. That's very cute. But who should I speak to? Mm,
Well, we're like a democracy. We work as a team. The captain of the ship is, in fact, Captain Nipples on here on
oh,
the SS Macchiato. But if you do have a question or anything, you can direct it to any one of us, and then if we need a consensus on a decision to be made, we'll let you know.
oh, well,
Yeah.
you did so well rescuing the people here. Wanted to ask you for a favor. I could pay you. I need you to find my grandson.
He was not on the island with you.
Oh, no, no. He's not been on the island for quite some time. He got into an argument with his father and left. Um, but I fear for his safety. Uh, you see, he's always
Oh,
sent letters
bent
to
up.
the island every month to let me know of his adventures. I don't approve of his piracy, but he always sounds like he has such a good time. In the last 2 months, he has not sent me any letters. I need someone to track him down. You seem capable.
Wait, he's a pirate?
He's a, what? I'm sorry. What?
You say he's a pirate?
He's a he's a he's a bit rate. What did you say?
A pirate.
He's a peanut. No, he's not a peanut.
A pirate.
You know what?
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe
Yes,
with
Giuseppe,
the
you're
hair
not
yes,
tie.
he
tie.
is a pirate. Yes, he is indeed
Giuseppe
a
with the
Cat's
hair
private
tie.
Oh
silent
man.
yes,
on Giuseppe.
yes. He's a pirate.
Mom,
Why
speak
didn't you ask
common.
that? I don't.
Must be a dialect that maybe they don't
From
You're gonna
understand.
give this
Grumbly old
old man
man.
an aneurysm.
Yes. He's a pirate. He was on a crew. And he's making a name for himself. He's doing very well. Look at me. I mean, not by my standards, mind you. I wish he would have stayed home, and done something more productive with his life. He did so well in his in learning and honing himself, but the goal did something to him. I don't understand it, but he was supposed to be on his way back towards the island first time in 3 years, and he never made it here. I don't know where he went, so he's got. Could you do something? I have something stashed away that I could give you that's of value, I think. You would that you would want. I would happily part with it in payment if you could find my grandson.
And what's your grandson's name?
Or my grandson's name is Nathaniel.
Does Nathaniel have a surname or just Nathaniel?
Cyrus.
Ah, okay. And do you
Yeah, we
remember
could
what
keep an
ship
eye
or
out.
what pirates he ran with?
Oh no, he never told me exactly who he was with. I think it was so that should the letters be intercepted, they wouldn't. That uh, nobody would come after me or anything. But um, I
Good kid.
know that I know that he was that they traveled the blue here that we're in. That they were expecting to leave for a great journey in the coming months, but he was going to stop by and visit before leaving on it. Um, I'm not I'm not sure, honestly. Uh, um, I'll try it. I'll go through what letters I was able to take with me from the island when we fled, and I'll bring them to you and see if you can piece together any information that
Yeah,
might help
that'd be
you.
it. We could do that.
Oh,
Perfect. Will
Maybe
you
when you
gather
give
those
him back,
up?
we teach him a trade, so he'll not be a pirate anymore. I show him how to build a boat.
oh,
No.
if you could convince him to leave a life of adventure, you have done better than I did. But
Okay,
I'll
we go
let you
find my
be,
new
and
apprentice then.
yeah, I'll let you be, and I'll go search through my belongings and see if I can track down all the letters I was able to save.
Hmm.
And he like walks up. I thank you, Captain Nibbles. Yes, keep them in line, and then he walks away.
It's canon now. It's
It's
fact. All right, I'm gonna pick up Nibbles and put him up on my shoulder so he can survey everybody from his high perch.
You didn't get a description of what this guy looks like.
I was about to ask.
He's gonna
Of
have to
what
come back with those letters.
what the
We'll
old guy
ask him
looks
then.
like,
No,
No,
or
the
what
that's
the
done.
guy you're looking for.
son.
This
Yeah.
grandson looks like
Oh, okay.
possibly a drawing, a picture.
We could
'Cause what
probably.
if he doesn't answer by his name?
I was going to say we could probably do a little bit of like an investigation check with the townsfolk, because surely somebody else also knows about him, and get a relatively well-rounded description
This is
from the
what the
legend.
guy looked like you were talking to.
Why does he only have one
Uh,
shoe?
That's
Yeah.
your question, not why is his left foot a duck foot?
I mean,
Back in
his
my
right
day,
foot
everybody
might
had one
also be
shoe.
a duck foot. I don't know.
That's fair.
Kind of looks bandaged. His duck foot could have been hurt.
Maybe. But yeah, that's what he looks like. He's a very old, strange-looking mink.
Okay. So we're looking for a
What's
duck
in the
meat.
vial on
Got
his
it.
hip?
I'm on my PC now, so I should be able to actually
Yeah,
contribute
Ben should be out soon.
noise.
Okay.
Okay.
He's up. He's just getting
Yeah, that was
getting
Okay.
around.
I went ahead
Weird.
and put note on the Cyrus, Nathaniel Cyrus, Cyrus from the Island Side Quest. I put that information in the notes channel for us to refer back to. In case you're
Thank you.
looking for the notes section on the far right where it's got the tools, library,
Cool.
player, and under player there's characters and notes.
I
So
see
if you
that.
need
Yeah.
to. Yep.
Cool.
So we've got Henrik's note, which has got all of the materials for the townspeople, and then the note on Cyrus.
Sorry, say that again for me. Where are the notes?
On the far right-hand side, do you see tools, library, play?
I don't know if I'm in the right spot yet. In the Wild
Within
Seed
Fantasy
Terra
Grounds itself?
IV.
No, within Fantasy Grounds
Oh,
itself.
Yes.
I thought there was
On the
notes.
right hand side, there's Players tab, and in there there is Notes.
I haven't. I'm having to update.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll have
but
to take a look.
okay.
Nice.
So I feel like Flynn's gonna actually go closer towards the bow of the ship, like towards the front.
Okay.
Keep an eye on that fog.
Because he heard Grace mention something in regards to like a fog, and so he's, he wasn't able to make it out from where he was, so he wants to get closer to the front to see, because he knows that we're heading, in that direction that she was looking and saw it. So he wants to kind of see if he can't get a better vantage point in view.
Keep an
Okay.
eye on it.
That's smart.
Sounds good. So you're going to stick up here and keep a lookout for what's happening with that. All right. So I'll keep that in mind when perception checks are going. You'll get advantage for maintaining, like, looking at that direction if it comes up.
Okay.
And like I said, I think you made high enough. You can see like there are clouds up ahead, possibly a storm, but like your eyes at the moment can't pick up um, something like a fog. Okay. So some time. What are you doing over with the dragon? What were you wanting to do with Isabella?
I was looking for any loose scales that would be ready to shed so I can collect those. I would assume that could be a sellable, tradable, valuable thing, or make cool trinkets.
Cool. All right. So you can do either your perception's wrong. I mean, it's the correct number, but it was wrong stat. You can do either perception or survival to look around and perception is just looking. Survival, it doesn't really matter either one. 16 is good enough. So you go through and you find some like loose scales where new scales are growing in and everything, and um, roll. We're gonna say roll. Wisdom bonus 3. Okay, so roll. If you in the chat box, if you type in /roll space and then type in 2d4 plus 3. This is how you do a custom roll, everybody, if you needed to do a custom roll of something.
So /roll all the way spelt out.
Yeah, so /roll space 2d4 plus 3 is what Isabella's doing right now. But you type in, and then the quote unquote equation, there's no spaces in the equation.
Gotcha.
Can I do it
Okay.
just a tad?
Yep.
So it would look like that.
Without the
Yeah, without the quote.
Yeah, it worked.
okay.
That's actually pretty straightforward.
Oh, come on.
Pretty straightforward code.
Mm-hmm.
/roll space the math. You don't have to capitalize the D. Nice.
There we go. So you find 10 small stone dragon scales.
Sweet. Are they shiny?
So his scales aren't super shiny. They look they're very kind of matte, right? I will I will warn with the
Sorry.
way dice rolls happen, you send a command to roll dice, which then forces my computer to roll dice and then send the result to all of you. So the more dice you put in a single roll, the more you lag everything out. I had to explain this to another player that as soon as I told them how to do this, they tried to roll 120 d20s and crashed my computer.
Ah.
Oh,
Sheesh.
well, I just did 10 d20s and
Totally
everything
fine.
seemed
That's
fine.
totally fine. Yeah, no, it's when you
Just
start getting into
be
triple
careful though.
digits that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
What
sorry.
if
I'm just
all of
throwing
us
some
were
tests
rolling?
out there.
You're
I
fine,
literally did.
but
Well,
This is how
maybe
detectives
no
talk.
more.
yeah.
All right,
Just wanted to know if the tests work.
so in your inventory, do you have a spot? Did you add one? So, Isabel, you can add at the very top on your equipment list of your inventory, you can click the green plus and just add a line and then name that. It's going to put it at the very bottom and then name that line Stone Dragon Scales. The quantity on the left will be 10, and then I'll adjust the weight. Weight is point. Yeah, so they look like they his scales look like petrified tree bark.
Ooh.
Like stone tree bark is what his scales look like.
Oh, I could build something out of that. Could
Um,
make armor for cappuccino.
well,
No.
not shiny. All right, so that's got those, and he, is kind of like sleeping over there, not really paying attention to what's happening with that. Flynn. Flynn, make a perception roll with advantage for me.
Alrighty. Adding advantage and perception.
24. Let's see. All right.
Does it say G20?
What's that?
Just when Flynn did the roll, it says G20 plus 5. G.
Oh, yeah. It's part of some
With
equation
greater.
that they have.
Okay.
Specifically, this is just designating that the die that was selected was the green one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you roll at advantage, I think the game or disadvantage, the game designates one green, one red,
Right.
and then it designates which one to choose, whichever is higher or lower.
Oh, that's clever.
So 24. Um, so um, Flynn, you can see that this storm, like the clouds, are getting closer. When I say closer, I don't mean like imminently close. They are still like a mile off, right? You've still got time that you're coming up, you're encroaching, but they are the horizon. And you can now see this kind of opaque mist fog that's below the clouds.
Okay. So now that I can actually see that, and
Mhm.
I see exactly what Grace is talking about, I'm gonna like hop down and I'm gonna run over to her, like kind of navigating through everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
look,
a big crowd,
Yeah,
big
there's a
crowd of
lot of
people.
people.
and then run over to her like, Grace, gotta ask you a quick steering question. So
Absolutely.
so you remember that fog that you were seeing out there?
Yeah, that
Um,
kind of grayish, stormy haze that I saw in the distance.
yeah. Um can we go around it? Because I have a very bad feeling because it seems like an icy mist, and I don't want to run into somebody that like I don't know if it's just like a natural cause or if it could be somebody that's trying to attack us and we're going into like that, but we're like a mile away from it. And I mean, I know it may add some extra time to our travel, but I definitely want to err more so on the side of caution than just trying to cut through that.
Ed,
Okay.
Hello.
I think you're definitely onto something. Let me go ahead and check the charts real quick and make sure we have a good heading. But yeah, I think we could probably stave off that storm if we, head a little bit more south and then go around it. We just got to keep it on our peripherals and keep an eye on it. Ray, would it be possible for you to check the star charts to
Absolutely.
confirm our heading? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so it is
Alright, finish my
10:18
breakfast.
Eastern, which is close-ish to the halfway mark. While Conductor is getting the game up and about to make the roll, we're going to go ahead and have our halfway break. That way, as soon as we come back, we're ready to kick right back in. If
And you
while
guys can maybe update me on
I
during
was
the
about
break.
to say that if somebody would like to, that is happening to stick around during the break, you can fill Conductor in on what's happened so far in the session. I'm going to be gone for 5 to 10. I'll put the vote up in the chat as soon as it's done. I've got to get Laurel in bed, so I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Dope.
Bye-bye.
nice.
Alright, so